Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is having a good week. In reading the Racial Identity Development Theory introduced in Module 2, it helped me examine and understand my own development by highlighting that from an early age, assimilation was valued. This was informed by the material that we learned in school, media, and what the entertainment industry reflected. Preserving one's culture was not something that I recall was encouraged, especially at school. Um, Accepting the main culture was valued from peers and from teachers. That's changed a little bit now, but it was different back then. For a first generation American in Southern California, race is not merely an identifier, but the fundamental framework for my entire worldview. Um, Race serves as a lens through which I immediately perceive barriers. Growing up in Orange County, I can see the disparities that exist, especially when I was growing up. Um, I would travel to different cities with my parents. They would work in cities like Laguna Beach and Newport Beach and see multi-million dollar homes. Um, they had wealth that I could not even begin to comprehend. Meanwhile, in my city, people didn't have access to affordable housing, food, and affordable healthcare. My acute awareness of my racial self began to solidify when I was young. I became a translator for my Spanish speaking parents. I also witnessed firsthand the frustration and occasional condescending attitude that they got from people. This initial awareness was quickly amplified by observing the racial tension and disparities facing the documented and undocumented Mexican community in our region. This constant exposure to disparity transformed my racial identity, viewing higher education as a critical pathway to dismantle the structural cycles I grew up witnessing. As early as elementary school, I have been aware of institutionalized racism people who are undocumented face. I was in elementary school when I went to my first immigration protest, and although I didn't understand the full gravity of what was going on, I understood that it was important. Now more than ever, and more than any other period I can recall, racialized immigration enforcement is present in a way that I didn't think was possible. Just by looking at how immigration enforcement is being handled, I can see the disparities that the Latino community face. Through the lens of immigration reform, I can see how people who are undocumented are also subject to exploitation in the workplace, wage theft, and unsafe working conditions. Up until this point in my life, I believe I have not experienced racialized immigration enforcement because I had some level of protection from racial profiling by law enforcement. However, that has drastically changed in the last year, and under this new administration, I am now subject to policies and practices that authorize detention and deportation, which disproportionately affect Latino and other racialized immigrant groups. And I can feel a constant state of fear of detention and deportation, not only for undocumented workers, but also for you as citizens and legally present family members. I see it in my community. After an ICE raid or ICE activity, I can see that foot traffic is down, and I can feel just the overall tension that is present and continuously present in my community. um, Development stage and effect. I can see myself in identity versus role confusion. Experiencing events in real time makes me feel angry and confused and vulnerable, seeing how useless the systems and protections in place have done little to protect civil liberties makes me question everything that I have learned in school and everything that I have been taught. This is a profound influence on the identity formation process, injecting uncertainty. When institutional racism proves these social structures are unreliable or hostile, it has led me to difficulty committing to the future path if that path feels unsafe or unfair. Negative identities such as distrust or government or legal institutions. Um, Action to challenge power structures, applying CRT. Since my experience is something that is continuously changing and is a big cornerstone of this administration, I think it's important to continue using my voice, applying CRT principles to challenge power structures that perpetuate racial inequality. One action I can take is civic engagement. and advocacy. This includes showing up to voting polls, talking to Congress members and local government officials to push for changes that benefit my community. I understand that immigration policy and changes that need to be made are complex, but I know that there are areas that can be better handled. I know that it is not time. I know that right now is not the time to be scared. More than ever, our communities are fighting for something greater, and its impact continues to affect everyone and the future generations. Would I respond differently now? Thinking back and reflecting on this current situation, I wouldn't respond differently to current events. But I know that now is not the time to back down and be scared. My response now is informed by the fact that I didn't see things changing so drastically in such a short span of time. This current situation reinforces the need to continue using my voice and fighting for something greater.